Hey, everybody, at your own risk, episode 12, and the co-pilot podcast, as I like to call it, and just happy to be back and freshly off the Legacy Parker 500 yesterday that I got to race, and just had an awesome time. And I'll just break it down into it right away. As far as how the whole weekend went, things started out in Parker, Arizona, since Thursday, when qualifying went down for everybody that was racing on Friday and Saturday. There was two races out there, so that was pretty cool. But a lot of stuff happening, and just want to get down into how, breaking down what happened at the race, and where we ended up, how we started, and how things just worked out for me and the race team that I was helping, which was the 6155, owned by Kirk Harkey, who I got an opportunity to race with, and that's how it went. So first of all, just really happy that everything went well. We didn't have any issues. So again, I'll get into more of the details of it. But first of all, I have to give thanks to God for keeping me safe and everybody out there. Definitely didn't seem like there was any major incident that happened out there during the race. Both days, I didn't hear of anything so far. Today's the day after the race, but I still didn't hear of anything major that anybody had any kind of accidents or anything like that. So just thankful for that, and thank God for, again, for me, and the blessings that I get and that I receive. Again, all glory to God, man, because I just think that, and I know that the blessings come from Him, and just thankful for that. So right away, Thursday, we went out to Parker, and there was a pre-run on Wednesday that people were talking about the pre-run and saying it was going to be a fast race. A lot of graded roads and stuff. Obviously, some people may complain about that or not, but it's necessary to get the permits. I'm sure that the BLM has to hand out. So there's certain things that they have to be done. Obviously, there was a race last month there, and I'm sure they had to grade it. So then it had to be regraded again by Legacy. But again, great work by everybody at Legacy. First of all, for all the work that they did. So Thursday was qualifying and tech and contingency as well. So, and Thursday was qualifying pretty much everybody, since there was going to be a race on Friday for the limited and UTVs class. There was going to be a race on Friday for those guys, and then obviously the unlimited big trucks on Saturday. So that way, it's more of a safety issue. I know. I hear people that don't like it, but I think, from what, and being of that, I will say, being in a limited truck before, when I was in a trophy light truck, and having to maneuver around the big trucks, because they will eventually catch you, especially when you're in a limited class. I think it may, again, it may not be what a lot of people want, but for safety reasons, I think it's the right call. And that's just my personal opinion of me being in a limited car before, and having had basically pushed by some of those big trucks. I can see the urgency now that I am in a bigger truck, and a spec trophy truck. I can see the frustration in it, if you would have to be fighting the limited classes. So anyway, I think it's a good idea. I think Legacy should keep doing that, or other organizations, just for the safety purpose of it. Yeah, and you can run fast. I mean, even if you're, what you call a limited class, I think you can. It's easier for you as well. It should be something that everybody knows, that it's just a smart thing to do. So anyway, so qualifying went down Thursday, and I was with Kirk Harkey's team number 6155 in the spec truck, and the uh they we we were going to qualify the truck, and another individual that I got to thank too is Chuck Dempsey. Chuck Dempsey ended up jumping in the truck with Kirk and qualifying their truck, and or the truck I raced in, and they ended up qualifying 28th out of the 33 vehicles. Not not great, but hey, at least they got to the finish line. So, and that was on Thursday, February 20th, and so they qualified 28th. So that we knew we were going to have some work done, to have on that day, on race day, in order to keep moving up, and there was going to be a lot of dust, especially if there wasn't going to be a lot of wind, which I think was being expected, that the wind was going to be light on race day. So again, they qualified that, and I actually got an opportunity to qualify on Thursday as well and help out another truck, another Brenthel truck, and that was pretty cool. I got to get in with Ricky G. If you want to go see what he's about, you can follow him on his Instagram at Ricky G _78. And he is a short course racer. So, young kid, very young kid, definitely half my age. And this was his first time getting to race in a race situation. He had been in the trucks before, in Brenthel trucks, and so I could see that he was excited to get the opportunity to get in a truck for the first time and actually put it to the test and see how he could wheel this thing on a qualifying lap, which was about maybe 4.5 mile, little loop. So it was a short, quick lap. I got to, like I said, I got to get in with him and give him some pointers as far as on my end, as far as what to do out there on the qualifying lap. We everybody got to do a sight lap first, see what it was. It was pretty cool to be in there with him as he was. I could tell as he was driving, he will go wide on a little corner, and again, this was a sight lap, so I could tell that he was really lining the truck up on what he was thinking already of what he was going to do once we did qualifying. And so qualifying took a while. We were out there pretty early, and just based on the many trucks, I think they were being let out every 2 minutes, I think, during qualifying. So, and there was a lot of, I mean, you're talking trophies and everybody else. There was a lot of trucks, so it took a while. And I want to say we were the last truck to qualify of the whole group. And again, we ended up getting out there, and he ended up qualifying 21st in the class 6100s. So not a bad spot, but even just the top guys and everybody in between, the class 6100 is such a tight qualifying class of and so everybody, I mean, it was seconds, like from 1 through 6 was just 1 second off. And then after that, everybody else was one thousandth of a second, like of as far as where you were qualifying. So, but it was cool to get in with him, and it was cool to get in with Ricky, help him qualify on his first time out there racing, and just seeing his excitement of that he was getting a chance to do this, and it was a lot of fun for me. I will say that getting in with a young kid like that, knowing how much he's just psyched. And the cool thing too, I will say, was getting the opportunity to be in there and psyching him up and saying, "Dude, you're ready. You got this." It was cool for me. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I don't, and I did have somebody else ask me afterwards. They're like, "How'd you get in with a truck with somebody you've never even read?" One, the first race the kid's done out here in the desert, and someone who just is brand new at it, and you're gonna give them instructions on what to do. Those are awesome, awesome times for me that I really, really enjoy. And I'm sure it's a little obviously way out there, but again, I don't question it one bit. I think I feel pretty confident in my skills and my experiences. So getting in there is just another day, man. As long as people listen, we're good. So again, congrats to Ricky on a great run. and I think he got to. I think if you qualified, you had to start the first lap or finish the first lap. I think that's what the legacy rules are. So he started the first lap, and I think he did one lap, and then it was Jordan Brenthal's truck, the number 6173, and then I think Jordan brought it to the finish line. So, but it was cool to see him out there and get that opportunity. I'm sure he's going to be getting more opportunities from the way he wheeled that truck. It was pretty awesome to see, like I said, and it was cool to see him at the start too of the race day, and just see him again and say, "Hey, man, go get it." So, again, Ricky, thanks for putting up with me in the seat, and it was fun. I know I let him know if he ever needs any help, let me know, and more than willing to see if how I can help him. So, and so that was cool. And but again, the truck I was in, with Kirk Harkey and Chuck Dempsey, that both splitting driving. So I ended up Saturday morning. I'm helping out, just making sure our other navigator is that was going to get in with Kirk. Was ready. Brian was ready, and um, just wait my turn basically, and get in with Chuck whenever it was our turn. Sometimes, you never know. A driver or a navigator might not feel good that day and need to get out or something like that. So they took off on lap one, and no issues, no flat tires. Um, I think. I think from looking at some of the footage, I want to say they took off on I think they took off on a turn and plowed straight into a pretty big tree, and I think that was pretty much it that I saw in the videos. But again, nothing. It was nothing major. That the truck was still good to operate, and so they came through first lap, and about 20 miles out from the first lap, they start radioing that I'm going to have to jump in. So I was expecting to do the last two laps, or the last lap. Sorry, I was expecting to do the last lap with Chuck at the wheel, and do my best for that. And what ended up happening, I don't know if Brian had something bad to eat or what. Maybe he didn't have enough breakfast. I don't. Everybody has a different thing that may happen to them. I have been lucky that I haven't had, knock on wood, that anything weird happened to me yet in 15 years. But so we had so at with 20 miles for them to finish their first lap, which was a 120-mile lap, they start radioing in that I'm going to have to get ready to jump in with Kirk on the second lap, and so I run to my clothes, get everything put on, and get ready to jump in with Kirk, who I had never got an opportunity to navigate, even talk about, as far as how we were going to make the calls, and which is a little bit different. That I've been using a lot of Baja Brian's notes, so this was another complete system that I needed to learn. And it's just the old school system of L6, L5, L4, L3, L2, L1, or R1, R2, R3. So that was the system I was going to basically go back to, um, and instead of the other system that I do know, which I appreciate. I think it makes things a little bit easier. But either way, once you get in, you got a job to do. So do it to the best of your ability and what you know and what you can decipher. So ended up getting in right after lap one. Brian got out. I got in. Got everything ready on the the Lowrance and what I needed to see, and we took off. One of the interesting things for me was, sometimes some drivers, an R5 is an R4 to them, or an R, depending on what speed you're coming into a corner, and if there's other language that you need to use. If we're going into a tight, tight or open, and it just you're having to, as far as me, having to adjust very quickly as far as what you're doing, how you're saying it, if maybe it's into or next is, that might make a difference to some guys. So there was a lot of learning for me in one lap, and I had to learn it pretty quickly. So I felt really comfortable once we got going. I felt super comfortable with Kirk, and he can wheel a truck too. So we we took off on the second lap. I don't remember what position we were in, but we ended up taking out on going out on lap two. Had no issues, nothing, nothing that was poking its head out that of anything we had to worry. So we just kept her nice and clean and going, and got to the main pit of the last lap. And once we got into the last lap, I had Chuck Dempsey jumped in and to drive the last lap. Got comfortable with him. I had to change a couple of things as far as the information that he likes to get, and off we went. Uh, and the only issue we had, luckily we didn't. I don't think they had any flat tires. I didn't have any flat tires. I never had to get out of the damn truck. So that's a really really good day for me when I don't have to worry about anything other than watching the temperatures and if anybody's coming behind me. Once we start catching people, what to be giving Chuck as far as to keep him at a good pace on the road. And so the only issue we did have in the truck, which happened twice, was when we would come into a really hard corner with a with a with a with his with the steering all the way right, like all the way. um, Chuck did an awesome job. Chuck, great job on saving us, because what would happen was when he would hit it completely, and the steering was all the way right. I mean, as right as you can go, like on a hard right turn. Sometimes the steering would lock on him so much that he couldn't even bring it back. It was just locked right, and it would only do it on the hard right turns that it was locking. And we would the first one we did like a full donut because the steering was just locked. It wasn't going anywhere. We just donut in, and then once we came back around, it released again, and it was soft again. He could drive it. So at first when he did it, I'm like, what are we doing? Because we're going in a circle, and he just says, "Hey man, this thing is locked. It will not do anything and respond." So luckily, it came back, responded, and we're going down. I want to say probably about mile marker 80, 90 of the last lap on lap three. And there was that hard turn onto one of the power line roads. And there's a big berm on the right side. And so when he again, locked it up to the right side to make that hard right, it locked up again. And I thought we were done. I thought our day was done because the truck went straight up into that hill. And luckily, Chuck just gunned it, and it brought us up on top of of that big berm. And we made a big turn. The steering came back over, and the only thing I could think of after that was that I was literally running through my head, do I have any big cliffs where there's a hard right turn and I have to worry about this happening and us going straight into over the cliff, or whatever's on the other side. And I think the only one was, I think, once we came back around the canal, that we crossed the canal once again, and there's a hard right turn where there's a ditch on the left side. So, but didn't happen. We made it fine. And I think right there you got about like 18, 20 miles left to the finish line at that one spot I'm talking about. And so we made it to the finish line, just had those two little bit of issues. We did end up, passing some vehicles that got flat tires or other stuff. We didn't have anybody get around us when we were on the last lap. So we made up some time, we made up some positions, and then at the end of the day, we ended up in 14th place out of 33 spec trophy trucks. So, it was a good day. Obviously, not the what we were looking for. We always want to obviously finish on top of the podium, but I think overall, based on where they started in 28th, and you make up 14 spots out of 33 people out of 33 trucks. Seems like a good day. So, I was very happy. I was happy with the results. Obviously, that you finished a Parker race, and Parker races just always seem to be, as an attrition, it always seems to be where it just takes a lot of trucks out for some reason. And the other interesting thing to us, obviously, from the notes of qualifying, where it seemed like it was going to be a very fast course, after Friday's race of the UTVs and Class 10s, that course got pretty beat up, and so we knew that once the bigger trucks got in it, that was going to make it even a little bit more of a challenge, and it did once you came around. I think the last 20 miles, a lot of rocks started to show up out in the on the course, and so it had its challenges out there for sure. But for the most part, it was a pretty. I felt like it was a smoother race going in a reverse direction too. So, but just kudos to Legacy, Donald, Liz, everybody that just is out there, the volunteers. Thank you guys for an awesome, awesome race. And I'm looking forward to the next race that I can get in a truck. I think I know that I just appreciate one of the people, one of the groups, I should say, that I really want to appreciate. And I was like, just is the job that the Brenthel crews do. Those guys and kids are just on it, man. They're like a well-oiled machine. Those guys are awesome in the stuff that they do, the things that they know when they hear something about a truck, maybe having an issue or something. Every single one of them just runs through their head of what it can possibly be, and so it was pretty cool to see them in action when I was in the pits. I got to see a couple of the other trucks come in and see them work. And man, those guys, just do great work. And I want to give them kudos to all the Brenthel crew and guys. Dude, guys, great job. And you're the unsung heroes of the sport for sure. Of just what it takes to get a truck in and out, and keep it competitive, and just great job, guys. Great job. And so again, I had a great race. Didn't have a lot of issues that really put us in a bind of any kind. I think I really thank Kirk and his family for the opportunity, for the hospitality, and for cooking me a birthday cake for my birthday over the weekend. I really appreciate it. It's just, it's such a great experience to be around people that just, show so much love for individuals that they've never met, and I really appreciate Kirk and his wife and their hospitality. And I also want to thank Chuck Dempsey for the opportunity he extended, and to get in there and be a part of that team. I had a blast, and hopefully maybe I can help them in the future. I don't know. I don't. Again, I may end up with a team. I'm not committed to any team at this point. I will say that as I'm looking forward, as of right now, in 13 days, I'm scheduled to be out at the Min 400 already with another truck, and that truck is going to have Good Boy vodka on the side of it, and that's the truck I'm going to be racing with. I believe they're going to have two drivers, and I will be navigating for both of them. So through the whole race, the Mint 400. So I'll be doing that, and then I'm also committed to race the Baja 250, and that will be in a trophy truck, a two-wheel drive trophy truck. Now that it has two classes, it's a two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and so um, so that's what I have so far. I did want to say something. I know I've gone through my recap as far as the race. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say about that. One of the things I do want to say about as far as everything else that's going on in the community as far as racing and everything else, I did get a lot of questions asked about from me. What did I think about the Score International doing the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive trophy truck class? And my personal opinion. Obviously, there's a lot of opinions out there, and to me, it's interesting how many people that have no skin in the game have the most strongest opinion. And it's like, well, okay, well, if you feel that strong about it, get a truck and go out there and drive yourself then, or do something about it instead of sitting in the sidelines and just having a voice about it. But it's weird that everybody has such a strong opinion that has no skin in the game. So for me to look at it from Score's perspective, it's in probably in their best interest to entice more teams to come out and race if they've had a 6100 and want to go into trophy truck in a 2-wheel drive class. Good for them. Matter of fact, the reason I'm going to race in a trophy truck at the Baja 250 is because Score did a 2-wheel drive class. So good for them and good on Score to see the opportunity and seize it and say, hey, maybe if we did a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive class, we'll get more people to come and race in Baja. Come on, guys. It's like it's money. Like it's a business. It's not a charity. So for them to think of it as an opportunity to maybe entice more teams to come and race in Baja, good for them. I applaud them. Good on them that they're doing what they do and what is necessary to generate more trucks to show up and run in Baja. So that's my 2 cents. Obviously, I feel good about it because I get an opportunity to go and race myself in a trophy truck at the Baja 250. So I'll get off my soapbox because that's what I got to say and about that. And I think it's on my end, I think it's a good call on them. We'll see how it works out. Again, if it was to entice a truck that was a spec truck into a trophy truck class, they succeeded with at least the one guy I'm going to help. So if that generates even more, good for them. So again, that's what I got to say about that. So overall, the Legacy Parker 500, I think was a great event. Again, I think Legacy did an awesome job. You guys keep up the great work. The turnout was awesome. The contingency was pretty awesome too. It took a long time to get through it, but again, it sometimes it's just part of it, and that's sometimes how it rolls. So again, for Kirk Harkey and Chuck Dempsey, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to help you guys out. I don't take it for granted that I have something, some of these opportunities, and I look forward to doing the best to my own ability for any race team out there. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, want to add something, chat me, DM me, send me a message on Instagram at Daniel Plaza 1, on my Facebook, or on here on this, on the YouTube channel. Send me a question, send me a comment. If you need help with anything, if you need help trying to figure something out. I know last week I had somebody ask me about how that was in, I believe they're in Mexico, asking me if I could help them get a neck brace recertified. Sure, I'll help you if I can figure out a way to get it to me and get it through and and things like that. So yeah, I'm willing to help. If I can help, I will help anybody. I will help your navigator learn something new. I will help them learn how, if I can teach them how I do things and make any individual out there better. If even if we're in the same class, if they get better than me and do a better job than me, good on them. Then that means I need to work harder. So again, I'm willing to help share any information I know, anything I can help anybody, anything you want to learn from me, if you have a question, again, a comment or anything like that, let me know. And that's it. So again, I think I'm only at this point, as of today, I'm only 13 days from my next race, which will be the Mint 400. And I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a blast. I really, I feel very confident in that race, and just how much I know of that terrain, one way or the other, whether you run it clockwise or counterclockwise. I've done it both ways. So, just looking forward to that. And again, hopefully, you guys keep listening, and I'll keep sharing what I do, how I do it. And if I can help anybody in any way, I will. So again, God bless everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.